One day I went to the shops. He followed me from my house to the shops. I asked him if he had a knife this time. He stayed silent.
I don't know if you want to talk about this or not, or if we're going to lower the tone a bit here, but didn't you actually have like a serious issue with a stalker once? Because it's all well and good us like laughing at the sort of the creepy DMs, but there is a time when it can go too far, isn't there?
Fuck off. I've got a stick. There are times when it has gotten bad. So there was a stalker whilst I was streaming. I have had bad stalkers in the past, but the one that sticks out for everyone is one of the worst. I think in the top 5, I'd say.
In the top 5, how many have you had?
Been streaming quite a few.
Do you mean like
In person trouble? Yeah.
really?
I don't mean messages online. That's not a stalker.
So is
That's
this
a guy with a
people-
hop. That's
Yeah.
fun.
So this is people trying
That's a
to find
chef.
where you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, we're trying to find where I am. So he was sleeping in my back garden, watching my house. He was waiting for me to come out. Sometimes I'd walk past my front door and there'd just be eyes through the letterbox watching me.
No.
I'm not kidding. He would constantly threaten to kill me in front of everyone on my stream, and he'd come into my chat and he'd be like, "I'm coming over now. It's gonna happen. You're gonna die, and everyone's going to see." I'd call the police. They wouldn't even come over. I'd give them evidence and recordings. He assaulted me in front of a friend of mine. He gave a statement, and they took him in overnight, let him go. They didn't. They just were so lenient with it. And one day I went to the shops. He followed me from my house to the shops. I asked him if he had a knife this time. He stayed silent. Before I confronted him, I walked into the store, and I saw him behind me. So I walked up to the shop assistant and went, "Hey, that guy behind me, he is stalking me. He's dangerous. Have you got anywhere where I could hang out for a bit until he's gone?" And he put me in the storage room. He's like, "Yeah, I got you." And then he came back and he was like, "He's left." And I was like, "Cool." And I carried on shopping. And when I was at the till, he leaned forward and he went, "He's waiting for you outside." I was like, "Okay, could you take care of my things? I'm just going to go record him." So I got on my phone. I confronted him. I was like, "Do you have a knife this time? Are you going to let me walk home alone?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm going to leave you alone." I was like, "Okay." So I went back into the shop, got my bag, my stuff, went across the road. And as I crossed the road, he gave chase. He ran after me. So the people from the shop charged out, grabbed hold of him and pinned him down while I went and, went through this gate and went home, and they held the gate closed so he couldn't get past them, and he was trying to push them out the way and actually fighting with them to get to me. So I called the police, and he calmly walked over, making eye contact with me through the window of my house, and just sat on the bench, whipped out a drink, and just went and carried on watching.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. And he'd just watch my house day and night. Sometimes I'd wake up in the morning. He drank a specific kind of drink, and sometimes I'd just find a pile of bottles of that drink and like a flat patch of grass in my back garden. And I'd be like, "Oh, he's been watching the house again," you know? So one day they caught him on the way to my house with a knife after he threatened to kill me, and they confiscated the knife. So yeah, he was a bit of trouble. He just harassed me all the time. He'd come into my games. Somehow he figured out when I was gaming. He'd hop on to a game and he'd get into voice chat and in the game and be like, "Let me have 1 minute with you, just alone. Just talk to you for 1 minute. Just why won't you let me talk to you for a minute? It's just a minute." And the thing with all stalkers, the thing they have in common is they think that if they can get you talking to them, that you'll love them too. They just need to make you understand that you're meant for each other. And if they could just make you understand, you could be together. So they're constantly trying to get you to talk to them or respond to them. And if the thing is, like, if you block them, they know that you've seen their message.
Oh.
So they go, "If I act badly enough, you'll react. And if I can get you to react long enough, you'll love me."
So I can't work out their end game then, because if they want to get blocked just to be noticed, but they're also infatuated with you.
It's a full-blown obsession.
So, but then if they want to love you, sleep with you, I don't know, but then they've got a knife. What are they after here? Like just to be seen by you.
So they think that so they can always make another count if you've blocked them, but at least now they know that you've seen their message.
Right.
So now they know that they've got your attention.
You're accessible as well, yeah.
So they keep messaging. I have someone who does nothing but message me all day. I click on the unreads and it's about 1,500 a day at this point.
What?
And all he does all day is just type to me. He writes message after message after message. So some people are harmless like that. I blocked him once, and he said obsession's he made a new account to go, how dare you block me? Obsession is natural. I love you. You'll never love anyone in your heart if you just don't accept my love. And yeah, he just messaged me every day for years now, actually.
What did Twitch do? Can Twitch do anything about these people?
Well, it's kind of like they've given us the tools to block them and that sort of thing. What else do you expect them to do? They're not going to go knock on their house and tell their moms.
Yeah.
But then the police don't do much either.
Oh yeah, the police are shit. Several million people get stalked every day. Many people are killed by their stalkers that they've reported to the police many times.
Yeah.
There was a woman who was physically assaulted and beaten, and he put a tracker on her vehicle. She reported it to the police. They said she was wasting her. They charged her for wasting police time, and he murdered her. There are so many cases like this. It's insane. If you look at one, you'll be recommended thousands of them by Google.
That's horrific.
The police are shit. And one of the reasons is they're underfunded, and this happens all the time.
I did read on the way up here that I think it's between 55 to 70 women a year die from killed by stalkers that they already reported to the police.
Yeah.
Which is pretty intense.
Is it because of rules with the police where they're not allowed to do anything until that person does something more than messaging, following?
Well,
Is that what it
but
is?
I know.
sleeping in the back garden? Why
He-
can't they do something about that?
He physically assaulted me. Like, really badly.
So they are just
And they know.
useless.
They have it on record. They are just useless.
The police need to up their game then, I guess.
Totally. But they won't. I know they won't. Yeah. This is just something that I don't have much hope will change.
Right.
I actually released a video about this, and I showed that it happens to men as well as women. It happens to entertainers and just regular people. There's a content creator who was beheaded by one of her viewers, and her family are still trying to get the pictures taken off the internet because somebody shared them and started printing them on T-shirts the day after, and because it's on the internet, no matter where they take it down, it gets uploaded somewhere else.
They can get football goals taken down pretty quickly when
Copyright
things are playing
issues,
up illegal.
yeah.
Yeah.
That happens fast. So I don't get why.
Yeah.
It's the
Can't
money,
do all
isn't
that.
it? The money behind it.
Yeah, you upload one goal and your account's down.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're quick on that.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It's
It's
mad.
rank what they prioritise.
Well, this is an issue that affects women, so it won't be fixed very soon. This is something that primarily targets women. Anything that's a problem like that will not get dealt with for many years. And this is why people thought that neurological conditions were primarily a male problem, like autism, because we just didn't do anything about it when women reported the same symptoms. So because stalking is primarily an issue that affects women, it will take a very long time to fix.
Fucking hell. Jesus, I don't have a natural conclusion to that. So let's move on.
There was a guy wanking into a hot blonde bun while I was doing a workout stream.
That's so
What's
weird.
going through the guy's brain?
I don't think much.
Chill like this.